So it is what? Other prescribed fringe benefits. It is other prescribed fringe benefits. Other prescribed fringe benefits. So the taxability will be discussing about the other prescribed fringe benefits here. How the other prescribed fringe benefits will be taxable. How the other prescribed fringe benefits, the same will be taxable. We are discussing the same. So first of all, it is what? Interest-free loans or loans which are provided at concessional rate. So it is, number one is interest-free loan, or say loan provided at concessional rate. It is interest-free loan or loan which has been provided at concessional rate. Now here what is happening here is, if say employer provides say a loan, a car loan has been provided, he is charging a lesser rate of interest in comparison to the rate which the SBI is charging, or he has provided that loan without charging any interest. That is basically a benefit. If you go to market, SBI is charging interest at rate of say 8%, and the employer has provided you interest-free loan for that purpose, or say he is charging only 2%. So whatever is the benefit of the concession which you are getting, whatever the benefit or concession which you are getting, that is in form of the interest saving, that will be a perquisite taxable. And how you will be valuing? That is what? Valuation of the same. How you will be valuing it? That is, the amount of loan which is outstanding. That is maximum outstanding monthly balance. Maximum outstanding monthly balance of such loan. What is the maximum outstanding monthly balance of such loan into rate of interest charged by SBI on such loan. Rate of interest charged by SBI on such loan. If, which is charged by SBI as on the first day of the previous year. As on the first day of the previous year. From that, what you will be reducing? Less the amount of the interest, the amount of interest recovered from the employee. Recovered from employee. After reducing this amount, this will result in what? The taxable value of perquisite. This is what? Taxable value of perquisite. Okay. Now say certain interest-free loans or loans which are provided at concessional rate, they are exempt. Here, in this case, exempt perquisite is in respect of say exempt perquisite, that is loan provided for medical treatment of specified disease. If the employer has provided you a loan, say for medical treatment of the prescribed disease, then the same is exempt. But in case if the insurance company, say reimburses the expenditure and the loan still remains outstanding, then when we have say done our medical treatment, submitted the bills to insurance company has reimbursed that expenditure, we should repay the loan to the employer. In case if the insurance company reimburses the expenditure and loan still remains outstanding, then it will be what? Taxable. In that case, it will be what? Taxable. If the loan is still outstanding, then it will be taxable. Then the second one is about what? The petty loans. If in aggregate during the previous year, petty loans in aggregate during the previous year does not exceed rupees 20,000. If the loans are petty and in aggregate during the previous year, it does not exceed rupees 20,000, then the same shall be what? Exempt from tax. Then it will be exempt from tax. So here, this way you have to calculate. Now basically what is maximum outstanding monthly balance? So it is what? The balance of the loan on last day of each month. We have to take the balance of such loan on the last day of each month. So first one is we are discussing about the interest-free loan. What is interest-free or concessional loan? Interest-free or concessional loan, as I have already told you, the value of benefit resulting from the loans which are made available to the employee or any member of their household. Loans which are made available to the employee or any member of their household. That is what the maximum outstanding monthly balance. This is the maximum outstanding monthly balance into whatever the rate charged by SBI on such loan for similar purpose as in the first day of the relevant previous year. Whatever interest, if any, is actually paid by him or any such member of his household, that will be what? Reduced to arrive at the taxable value of perquisite. And what do we mean by maximum outstanding monthly balance? Maximum outstanding monthly balance means the balance of the loan, that is means the balance, aggregate outstanding balance for each loan as on the last day of the each month. Then exemption, as I already discussed, if the amount of loans are petty, not exceeding in aggregate rupees 20,000, or loans are made available for the medical treatment of the specified diseases, then the same won't be taxable. However, in case the insurance company reimburses the expenditure and the loan is still outstanding, then from that date taxability will arise. Then the next is what about the next perquisite is about the traveling, touring, accommodation and other any expenses paid or reimbursed by the employer for any holiday. So there is a holiday home facility. If this holiday home facility is owned by the employer, or this facility has been provided to the employee, or any member of his household relating to traveling, touring, accommodation and other expenses which has been paid or reimbursed by the employer. So the expenditure so paid or reimbursed by the employer will be taxable. The expenditure so paid or reimbursed by the employer will be taxable. The perquisite value shall be what? Perquisite value shall be valued as a sum equal to the amount of the expenditure incurred by the employer in that behalf. Now, in case if the medical facility is maintained by the employer and the same is not available uniformly to all the employees, if that holiday home facility is maintained by the employer, then the amount which is charged by the other agencies to the general public, that will be the taxable value. Value at which such facilities are offered by the other agencies to the public. Value at which the facilities are offered by what? The other agencies to the public. That will be the taxable value of the perquisite. That will be regarded as the taxable value of the perquisite. And in case if the employee is on official tour, and the family members accompany him, so here taxability will arise in respect of family members. Taxability will arise in respect of the family members. So if the employee is on official tour and expenses are incurred by for any of his members of his household accompanying him, the amount of the expenditure which has been incurred for the family members will be taxable. And in case if the employee is on official tour and subsequently the official tour is extended as vacation, he liked that place and he stayed for further 5 days after the work was over, then for 5 days the taxability will arise. So when any official tour is extended as a vacation, the value of such fringe benefit will be limited to the expenses incurred in relation to such extended period of stay or vacation. So it will be extended period of stay or vacation. For that the taxability will arise. And in case if any amount is recovered from the employee, then it will be reduced to arrive at what? The taxable value of the perquisite. So simply whatever expenditure has been incurred by the employer, or say if that holiday home facility is maintained by the employer at whatever amount has been charged by such other agencies, when these facilities are provided to general public, that is the taxable value of the perquisite. Then comes our free food and non-alcoholic beverages. It is what? Free food and non-alcoholic beverages. Free food and non-alcoholic beverages. So here the taxable value is the amount of the expenditure incurred by the employer. The amount of expenditure incurred by the employer. And in case if any amount is recovered from the employee, the same is reduced to arrive at the taxable value of perquisite. So the value of benefit is equal to what? The amount of expenditure which has been incurred by the employer. Whatever amount is paid or recovered from the employee for such benefit or amenity, it will be reduced to arrive at the taxable value of perquisite. But certain exemptions have also been there. If free refreshment, that is tea or snacks, that is been provided during office hours, same shall be exempt. So tea or snacks which has been provided during the working hours, the same shall be exempt. Then free food and non-alcoholic beverages. Free food and non-alcoholic beverages which are provided during the working hours in a remote area or an offshore installation. Free food and non-alcoholic beverages which has been provided during the working hours in a remote area or offshore installations, the same shall also be what? Exempt. Besides this, free food and non-alcoholic beverages which are provided by the employer during working hours at office or business premises. They have been provided at office or business premises through paid vouchers. They have been provided at office or business premises or through paid vouchers which are usable only at eating joints, and they are non-transferable. And the value per meal does not exceed rupees 50. In this case, value per meal does not exceed rupees 50. Then the same will be exempt. In case it exceeds 50, if the value per meal exceeds 50, such excess amount shall be taxable. The excess amount will be taxable. That is about the free food and non-alcoholic beverages. So if it is value per meal is 85, then rupees 35 per meal, the same will be what? Chargeable to tax. Now the next one is about the gifts. So employer may gift to the employees on ceremonial occasions or otherwise, and gift is when it is received by the employee, it is a perquisite, and the taxable value of perquisite is the, say, money value of such gift. So sum equal to the amount of such gift is the taxable value of the perquisite. And in case if the gift or voucher or token is less than rupees 5,000, then the same will be what? Exempt from tax. In case if the value of gift is rupees 5,000 or more, then the entire amount is chargeable to tax. Then the entire amount is chargeable to tax. So if the value of the gift or voucher or token is less than rupees 5,000 in aggregate during the previous year, the value of perquisite shall be taken as nil. Otherwise, the same is, say, fully taxable. Then in case of credit card facility is provided, so credit card, add-on card has been provided to the employee or any member of his household. What will be the taxable value of perquisite? The amount of expenses, including the membership fees and the annual fees which is charged to credit card, which has been paid or reimbursed by the employer. In case if the amount has been recovered from the employee, the same will be reduced to arrive at the taxable value of perquisite. So this value of perquisite is equal to the amount of such expenses, including the membership fees and annual fees charged to such credit card or reimbursed by the employer. That is the taxable value of perquisite. In case if any amount is recovered from the employee, it is reduced. And in case the credit card is used wholly and exclusively for the official purposes, then taxability will not arise. Similarly, in case any club facility is provided by the employer to the employee or any of the member of his household, what is the taxable value of perquisite? The actual expenditure, including the amount of annual or periodical fees, paid or reimbursed by the employer. In case if any amount is recovered from the employee, the same is reduced to arrive at the taxable value of perquisite. In case exempt perquisites in this case is what? Health club, the health club, sports club, or other similar facility which has been made uniformly to all the employees. Uniformly to all employees. Use of the health club, sports club, and similar facilities provided uniformly to all the employees by the employer, the same shall not be taxable. Besides this, where the employer has obtained the corporate membership of club, where the employer has obtained the corporate membership of the club, and facilities enjoyed by the employee, facilities enjoyed by the employee or any member of his household, the initial fees which is paid for obtaining the corporate membership of the club, the same shall be exempt. Besides this, if the expenditure has been incurred, wholly and exclusively for the business purposes or the official purposes, then it will not be taxable. For this, whether it's a credit card or whether it's a club facility for official purpose, the exemption will be available when the complete details in respect of such expenditure is maintained by the employer, which may include the date of the expenditure, what is the nature of expenditure, and what is the business expediency behind the same. And similarly, in case of car facility, we have seen here also the employer gives a certificate for such expenditure to the effect that the same was incurred wholly and exclusively for performance of the official duties. Then we come to what about the use of movable assets. Use of movable assets. Here it can be two cases. If the assets are owned by the employer, or they are taken on lease, and then provided to employee. If they are owned by employer, then if they are owned by the employer, then 10% per annum of the original cost of asset. %10% per annum of the original cost of asset shall be taxable. If taken on lease, lease rent paid by the employer, they are taxable value of perquisite. If any amount is recovered from employee, if any amount is recovered from employee, same is reduced to arrive at taxable value of perquisite. To arrive at what? Taxable value of perquisite. So in case if any amount is recovered from the employee, it is reduced to arrive at the taxable value of the perquisite. Then comes our what? Transfer of the movable assets. It has been here use of laptops and computers are exempt. Use of laptops and computers, they are exempt. Use of laptops and computers are what? Exempt. So here the value of perquisite shall be 10% per annum of the actual cost of the asset. Amount of rent or hire charges paid or payable by the employer. In case any amount is recovered from the employee, the same is reduced to arrive at the taxable value. Exemption has been provided in respect of use of laptops and computers. The same is what exempt. Then is our case of transfer of movable assets. It is a case of kya? Transfer of movable assets. Transfer of movable asset. If employer transfers the asset to the employee, that is, employee purchases the assets from the employer. So it is about what, computers and electronic items. It is about, motor cars. And it is about others. Here, how you will be arriving at the taxable value. What is the actual cost of the asset? In this, say it is computer and electronic items, motor car and others. We will be reducing less depreciation. We will be reducing the depreciation for every completed year of use. For every completed year of use. That is from, say, if it is employer has purchased the same on 15th of July 20x6, then up to what 14th of July 20xy, that will be a year, and for that depreciation will be charged, not for our part of year. No depreciation if asset is used for certain period and not for full year. Certain part of year and not for, say, full year. Period means part of year. If they are used for part of year and not for full year, then no depreciation will be charged. Okay. So here the depreciation is in case of, computer and electronic items, it is 50% on reducing balance method. On reducing balance method. In case of motor cars, it is 20% on reducing balance method. And in case of other assets, it is 10% on SLM basis. When this depreciation is reduced, we get the WDV. We get the WDV. From this WDV, we reduce what the amount recovered from the employee. We reduce what the amount recovered from the employee. And when this amount is reduced, we arrive at the taxable value of the perquisite. We arrive at the taxable value of the perquisite. This is taxable value of perquisite. This is the taxable value of perquisite. So this way we can compute the taxable value of the perquisite in respect of transfer of the movable assets. This is in respect of what? Transfer of the movable assets. So that is what? Transfer of movable asset. This is transfer of movable asset which was belonging to the employer directly or indirectly to the employee or any member of his household. What is the actual cost of that asset? Less depreciation at rate of 50% on the reducing balance method in case of computer and electronic gadgets, and in case of motor car it is 20% of the reducing balance method, and in case of other assets it is 10% of the SLM. Whatever amount is recovered from the employee, the same is reduced to arrive at the taxable value of perquisite. And here the deduction on account of depreciation allowed for each completed year during which the asset was put to use by the employer. And electronic gadgets means data storage and handling devices like computer, digital diaries and printers. They do not involve household appliances like washing machines, microwave ovens, mixers, hot plates and ovens, etc. They are covered in the others. Then for any other benefit, what will be the taxable value? The cost of the same to the employer under arm's length price, and whatever amount is recovered from the employee, it is reduced. And in case if the employer pays or reimburses the telephone bills or mobile phone charges, then there will be no tax liability. If telephone bills and mobile phone charges they are reimbursed, then there will be no tax liability. So that was about the valuation in case of other prescribed fringe benefits. Now we'll be discussing some of the questions in relation to this. That is what we'll be discussing now. So here, first one is, from the following benefits which have been granted by Wage Softwares to one of its employees, Mr. Badri, we are required to compute the chargeable perquisites in hands of Badri for the assessment year 21-22. The lending rates of SBI on housing loan is 10%, and housing loan has been charged at rate of 6%. So 4% is the benefit. Amount outstanding as on 1/4/2020 is 6 lakh rupees, and Badri pays 12,000 per month on 5/5 of each month. So what will be the taxable value? Maximum outstanding monthly balance, that is the balance of loan into, as on the last day of each month, into whatever the rate of interest charged by SBI on such loan. Whatever amount is recovered from the employee, the same is reduced. So here the housing loan has been provided on 1/4/2020, outstanding balance is 6 lakh rupees. So in April 2020, as on 30th April 2020, what was the balance? It was 6 lakh minus 12,000, that is what, 5 lakh and 88,000. Then in May, June, July, 12,000 rupees each has been repaid. So it works out to be 588, 5 lakh 76,000. Then it is 5 lakh 64,000. Then in case of July, it will be 5 lakh 52,000. Likewise, August, September, October, November, December, January, February and March. So it is 5 lakh and 40,000, then 5 lakh and 28,000, then 5 lakh and 16,000, then 5 lakh and 4,000 for November. For December it will be 4,92,000. January it will be 4,80,000. February it will be 4,68,000. And then 4,56,000. Into what is the rate of interest charged by SBI? 10% minus 6%. This is a benefit. 6% into 1 by 12. Likewise, we will be calculating into say 4% into 1 by 12 into 4% into 1 by 12. So for every month we will be calculating. So it is what 5,88,000 into 4% into divided by 12. That works out to be 1960. It is 1960. Then every time it will be reduced by rupees 40. That will be 1920. Likewise, it will be 1880. Then in this case, it will be what? 1880. Then in July, it will be 1840. August, September, October, November, December, January, February, and March. So this is the taxable value of the interest-free loan. So it will be 20,880. Then next one is air conditioners purchased 4 years back for 2 lakhs have been transferred to Badri for rupees 90,000. So we have to depreciate it at rate of 10% of the original cost. 2 lakhs minus 20,000. Every year depreciation is there, 10% per annum of the original cost. That is the depreciation amount. Whatever amount is recovered from the employee, that is 90,000 rupees. So here the taxable value will be what? 120 minus 90, that is 30,000 rupees. This is on account of transfer of movable asset. So the taxable value of perquisite works out to be 50,880 rupees in hands of the Badri. So one was about the interest-free loan, other is about the air conditioners purchased 4 years back, have been for 2 lakh rupees. They have been transferred for rupees 90,000. Now one more question is there which we'll be discussing. This was asked for 8 marks in May 2011. So here Sri Bala employed in ABC Company Limited as finance manager. Gives you the list of perquisite provided by the company for the entire financial year. So this has been provided here. So here first one is medical facilities given to his family in a hospital maintained by the company. So the estimated value of benefit because of such facility is 40,000 rupees. The first one is the medical facility in employer's hospital. Medical facility in employer's hospital is exempt from tax medical facility employees hospital to family member of employee is exempt from tax. Number 2, domestic servant facility was provided in residence of Bala. Domestic servant facility was provided in residence of Bala. salary engaged, salary of domestic servant is 1500 per month. Servant was engaged by him and salary is reimbursed by the company. In case company has employed the domestic servant, what is the value of perquisite? So in both the cases, if in this case, in case of domestic servant facility, salary paid or reimbursed by the employer, salary paid or reimbursed by the employer will be the taxable value of perquisite. Will be taxable value of perquisite. So here what is the taxable value of perquisite? It will be 1500 rupees into 12. 18,000 rupees will be the taxable value of perquisite. In case the company is employed by the domestic servant, what will be the value of perquisite? In that case also, the taxable value of perquisite will remain same. Then free education facility was provided to two children, Arthi and Ashok, in a school maintained and owned by the company. Cost of education of the Arthi computed 900 per month. Here Arthi is 900 per month and Ashok is 1200 per month. So in case of Arthi, since the cost of education per month per child does not exceed rupees 1000, since the cost of education does not exceed rupees 1000 per month per child, same is exempt. It will be exempt. Whereas in case of Ashok, taxable value will be 1200 rupees into 12, that is 14,400 rupees will be the taxable value. Some are of the view that from 1200 rupees, 1000 rupees must be reduced to arrive at the taxable value. Others are of the view that entire amount is what taxable. So we are taking that view, the entire amount is taxable. Then the employer has provided movable assets such as television, refrigerators and air conditioners as residence of the Bala. The actual cost of the asset is rupees 1,10,000. So here the taxable value will be 1,10,000 into 10% per annum of the original cost of asset. That is 11,000 rupees will be the taxable value of the perquisite. Then a gift voucher of 10,000 was given on occasion of his marriage anniversary. It is given by a company to all employees of about certain grade. So here gift voucher taxable, it will be taxable. Value will be the rupees 10,000. Value will be rupees 10,000. So here the taxable value of perquisite works out to be 10,000 plus 11,000, 21,000, then 14,400 and 18,000. This is the taxable value of perquisite. It works out to be total taxable value of perquisite is rupees 53,400 is the total taxable value of perquisite. Then we have certain perquisites which are exempt from tax. Certain perquisites, they are exempt from tax. Perquisites which are what? Exempt from tax. First one is what? We have already seen these. We have actually already seen these because whatever exemptions are there in various perquisites, we have discussed the same. So one we have discussed about the telephone facility which is provided to the employee on his residence, the same is exempt. That is telephone provided by an employer to the employee at his residence, the same is exempt. Then in case if any transport facility is provided by an employer engaged in business of carrying passengers or goods to his employee, either free of charge or at concessional rate, the same is what exempt. Then this transport facility that has been provided by the employer engaged in business of carrying passengers or goods to his employees, either free of charge or the same is provided at concessional rate, it will be exempt. Similarly, privilege tick passes and privilege tickets which are granted to the employees of Indian Railways, the same is exempt. Then foreign allowances and perquisites, they are given to Indian citizen government employees. The same is exempt from tax under section 10(7). We already discussed this. Besides this, employer's contribution to staff group insurance scheme, the same is also exempt. Employer's contribution to the staff group insurance scheme, it is exempt. If any personal accident policy has been taken by the employer on life of the employee, for which he is paying the premium so paid will be what exempt from tax. So payment of annual premium, payment of what? Annual premium by the employer on personal accident policy which has been effected by him on the life of the employee, the same is what? Also exempt from tax. Similarly, if refreshment is provided to employees during working hours in office premises, that is exempt. Subsidized lunch or dinner if the value per meal does not exceed rupees 50, the same will be exempt if the value per meal does not exceed 50. Then whatever recreational facilities such as club facilities which have been extended to the employee in general, the same will be exempt from tax. Whatever amount has been spent on the training of the employees or amount paid for refresher management course, employees are given training or they are sent on refreshment management courses which has been run by the various institutes, the same will be exempt, including the boarding and lodging expenses, Then whatever sum is paid by the employer to a recognized provident fund, deposit linked insurance fund, which has been established under coal mine provident fund or employees provident fund scheme here, but if the employer contribution exceeds $7,50,000, such excess amount is taxable. Leave travel concession, the same is exempt under section 10. Leave travel concession will be exempt. Then medical facilities, they are also exempt. We have seen that if medical facilities provided in the employer's hospital, if they are provided in government hospitals, the same are what? Exempt from tax. Rent-free official residence to the judges of the High Court or Supreme Court is exempt. Similarly, rent-free furnished residence, including maintenance, which is provided to the officer of the Parliament, Union Minister, and leader of opposition in the Parliament, the same is exempt. Similarly, conveyance facilities which have been provided to the judges of the High Court or judges of the Supreme Court, the same is also what? Exempt. So these are certain perquisites which are exempt from tax. So we have discussed about what? The valuation of the perquisites. Now we will be discussing then about the other, retirement benefits. It may be gratuity, it may be pension, it may be earned leave salary. All those retirement benefits will be what? Discussed by us in our next lectures. Leave travel concessions and other benefits which are provided.